Your heart rate spikes, your pupils dilate, blood redirects to places that aren't your brain. You didn't ask for any of that. It just happened. And now there's a thought in your head you definitely didn't invite. You try to ignore it. It gets louder. You make a deal with yourself. Just this once. Just for a second. Just to get it out of the way. And you know how that ends. Most people think lust is about pleasure.
You want something, you get it. You feel good.
Except a neuroscientist named Kent Berridge ran an experiment that broke that entire model. He was studying rats. Specifically, what happens when you destroy the part of the brain that produces dopamine.
No dopamine leads to no desire, no wanting.
The prediction was simple. The rats would stop caring about food entirely. And they did. They stopped seeking it. They stopped working for it. But here's where it gets strange. If you placed food directly in their mouths, they still enjoyed it. The pleasure response was completely intact. They just had no drive to pursue it, which means wanting and enjoying are not the same thing. Wanting is dopamine, loud, urgent. It points at something and says go. Liking is opioids. Quiet, brief. Lust is almost entirely wanting, which means when it fires, your brain isn't promising you pleasure. It's promising you the possibility of pleasure. And the anticipation hits harder than the reward ever does, which is why giving in doesn't fix it. It just resets the loop. Humans have known this was a problem for a long time. The Stoics said the solution was simple: just stop wanting things. The church tried guilt, built confession booths, abstinence vows, an entire architecture of shame around a single human impulse. Then came the modern answer. Don't suppress it. Express it. Feel nothing. It's all fine. And researchers found that produced its own kind of damage. Not moral damage, neurological. A reward system so flooded it stops responding to ordinary life. Most people assume the solution is discipline. Try harder, want it less. And this works for a while, then midnight arrives. Or a bad day, where nothing went right, and it doesn't work anymore. Willpower lives in the prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain that plans, reasons, and makes decisions.
Lust lives in older survival circuitry, structures your brain shares with almost every other mammal, built for one job: make sure the species continues. When lust kicks in, dopamine surges through the brain's reward system. The prefrontal cortex doesn't get stronger, it gets overpowered.
Trying to defeat lust with willpower is like trying to stop a river with your hands. You can slow it briefly. The river doesn't notice. And willpower has another problem. You start the day with a full battery. Every decision, every resistance, every not yet costs something. By midnight, the battery is dead. The strongest person in the room isn't the one resisting temptation all day. It's the one who never kept putting temptation on the table. For most of human history, lust had friction. You might meet a few hundred people in your entire life. Attraction had distance, which gave you time to think, time to disengage, time for the wave to pass before it became a decision. Then we built something that removed the distance entirely. Now the wanting fires, and the object is 2 taps away. Your brain has no framework for this, because your brain is ancient. The technology is not. Studies show the brain responding to internet pornography with the same dopaminergic signature as cocaine. You are feeding a wanting engine with an infinite supply of wanting fuel, and wondering why you never feel full. So here's the strange part. You already know something is wrong. Not because someone told you, because you felt it. That specific moment where part of you wants the thing, and part of you is watching that happen and thinking, I don't want to be doing this. One pulling towards something, one ashamed it's being pulled. A philosopher named Frankfurt had a name for this. He said humans have 2 levels of desire: what you want, and what you want to want. Most animals only have the first list. A dog doesn't sit there wishing it didn't want the meat. It just wants the meat. You have both lists. And the gap between them, that specific friction, that shame that I know better than this, that's not a flaw. That's what makes you different from the dog. The gap means you're capable of something the wanting system isn't. You can decide what kind of person you're becoming, not just what you want right now. Plato compared the mind to a chariot. Reason holds the rein. Desire pulls the horses. Most people hear this and assume the goal is killing the horse. Plato never said that, because if the horse dies, the chariot doesn't move. The energy isn't the enemy. The lack of direction is. The same drive that destroys a person can build one. The obsession that fuels addiction can fuel mastery. The difference is not the intensity, it's where the energy goes. One person spends 4 hours scrolling. Another spends 4 hours building something. The wanting is often identical. The system doesn't care what it wants. It just wants. The question was never whether the horse exists. The question is whether you're holding the reins, or just along for the ride.